readings. Today we are here with the famous astrologer Asif ji. Asif ji, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Gupta. I'm fine. How are you today?
I am absolutely fine, Asif ji. Let's start with a brief introduction about the type of astrology you practice. As you mentioned to me, you have been practicing astrology for many years. Could you please take us through your journey?
I have about 23 years of experience in this field and I practice Western astrology. I have also worked on Indian astrology, but I found Western astrology to be better. So I adopted that.
All right, Asif ji. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. The topic we have chosen is because the world dynamics, everything starts from America. As of today, America is a major superpower. And when we say America, we mean the United States of America because the American continents themselves are very large. We are specifically talking about the United States of America, which is a huge superpower and has been for many years. They have established themselves as a highly developed nation and have positioned themselves as very strong in the world. Today, whatever is happening in the world, in some way or another, America has a hand in it. So, today we will talk a little about America. You have seen America's astrology charts. So, what can you tell us about America? If we start with a few topics, what do you see about America from an astrological perspective?
Look, we currently have two charts for America right now. The first chart is of America itself, and in that we have the moon sign as well as the positions of the stars and planets at the time when America gained independence. We will explain things to you through that. After that, we also have the horoscope of the current president of the United States, Mr. Trump, and we will discuss that as well. First of all, let's talk about what you could call America's birth chart. Regarding that, the current time period in America's horoscope is favorable in many ways. As far as its financial condition is concerned, generally people these days keep saying that this or that will happen, but in the current position, the financial crisis in America, the way the common man is troubled still, the coming time starting near June 10, 2025 is significant because the planet Jupiter is about to enter Cancer. This will have a very positive impact on America's horoscope, a good effect. The income of the common man will grow and increase. The star I'm talking about, Jupiter, stays in one sign for about 13 months. When this star enters Cancer, it reaches an exalted position, meaning it becomes very powerful. Jupiter is considered a lucky star, a source of strength, and things become easier, opportunities arise on their own. So America's economy is set to grow significantly, and this positive effect will also be seen in cryptocurrencies and the dollar. The coming time, which will last until July 2026, starting from June 10, this 13-month period, we see America's economy growing.
So, when you talk about the common man, how will the common man benefit from this change in star positions?
Yes, that's a very good question. The common man will benefit in this way. When the government develops new resources, obviously the public may feel some distress, especially due to the introduction of new taxes. But the American government will also consider how to improve the condition of the common man and increase his income. Suppose a person is currently earning $5,000 per month, let's say an average non-technical person. If his income increases to $8,000 or even $10,000 per month, that's how it will benefit him.
All right. So, what you're saying is that the current government with Donald Trump and the Republican Party will do good work for the common man, according to you.
Yes, yes, yes. And this is Mr. Trump's good fortune. This is America's campaign for change. We are discussing different points. Number one, the stars of America itself, the country America. After that, we talk about the president. And here I would like to add one thing. In America's horoscope, the current time period for the president, just like when a person is born and you interpret their chart, there are two or three aspects to consider. Number one is where were these birth planets located at the time of birth and what were their positions? And number two is the star time period meaning. Which star's period is currently ongoing? Right now, it is Rahu's period for them. And Rahu, at the time of their birth, was in Gemini. In Arabic astrology, Rahu's position in Gemini is called Sharat, and in English it is called exalted, meaning a star shines or becomes prominent in that position. So Rahu was indeed in that place. This period started from January 25 and will continue until June 27. This is the time period for Mr. Trump. As for what effect this has on Mr. Trump's own personality, we'll discuss that further. When we look at his horoscope,
All right, that's fine. Yes, go ahead.
first we want to make it clear that obviously when we are discussing America's horoscope, the person who is governing there, the one issuing all the orders, what is his own situation. Suppose, for example, if his time period is going badly, then the public will also suffer. Keep one thing in mind. For any country, it is very important that the horoscope of its ruler, whether it's the president or the prime minister, is favorable, as it has a positive impact on the country's horoscope.
All right, we will also get to Donald Trump's horoscope, so let's wait a little for that. But before that, we'll talk about a few other things. As we were talking about the economy, you mentioned cryptocurrency, and in the US, cryptocurrency and the stock market, according to you, it's a good time for all of these, meaning until 2026.
Yes, yes, there will be a lot of growth and everyone will see it. The current star positions, according to the American horoscope we have, are in their favor. This is going in favor of the American.
All right, sir. So I will keep this in mind and pay attention to my stock market stocks for good growth as well. So next, let's talk about how the US is also quite advanced in space technology. And right now, we are seeing that, especially with Elon Musk, they have achieved significant growth in space technology. Looking ahead, they have a mission called Artemis, through which they are planning to send astronauts to the moon. So, what can you tell us about space technology if you look at the US chart?
Yes, I have checked the US chart regarding this. This is an interesting and intriguing piece of news about space that they might bring back some kind of metal. It could be gold, could be diamond, or it could be some other precious metal. But whatever it is, it will be something valuable. And another thing is that in space technology, the Pluto star has just entered, and after that, its angle with Jupiter will be favorable. In space technology, America is going to advance even further, and NASA is about to make a new discovery, find a new place, and then bring things back to Earth from there. They are going to find something in response to this question as well.
And what do you think? When will they find it?
Look, the star time period for Pluto is quite long. Pluto stays in one sign for at least 20 years. 20 years, right? And it has just arrived. So gradually they will achieve a lot of progress in space technology. But let me explain one thing about Pluto. Pluto is a group star, which means that along with America, some other country will also join in. It could be that the European Space Agency collaborates with them, or I've also heard recently that the Arab Emirates are showing a lot of interest in this as well. So there will definitely be some partnership with them. NASA won't be doing this alone.
All right, sir. So let's talk a little about this. The US, as of today, the biggest issue we see with America is its relations with other countries. Right now, the biggest thing we notice is that Canada, which for so many years has been counted among America's closest friends, but the very first conflict that Donald Trump started was with Canada. The people of Canada, as of today, have stopped going to the US, even though a significant portion of US tourism relies on Canada. Secondly, their relations with Europe used to be very good, but now, by repeatedly bringing up tariffs, their relations with Europe have also deteriorated quite a bit, and the rest of there isn't a single country today, if we look around, that is truly happy with America because these tariffs that they have imposed have upset the entire world as of today. So now, if we talk about America's relations, how will their relations with these countries be in the future? How will they improve? How will they get better? How will they improve? How will things be? Residency?
Look, when it comes to neighboring countries, the closest one is Canada. And if you look at the horoscope regarding the countries next to America, there is a star Saturn that is coming. It will enter on the current 26th of May and will stay there for 2.5 years. It's Aries. Saturn is entering Aries, and that's the sign of their neighbors. The American horoscope in this regard does not bring good news. And even if suppose there is some mutual understanding between them for a while, problems will arise again. So it's not good in that respect.
So when you say Saturn, you mean Shani, right?
Yes, yes.
So they have two neighboring countries. One is Canada and below is Mexico. Now, are you saying that Saturn will be affecting both these countries for the next 2.5 years?
You see, the third house in a horoscope represents your neighbors, just like in your own home, who lives to your right, who lives to your left, who is behind you, and who is in front of you. It shows all of that, whether there are two countries, three or four, anyone who shares a border with you. In this context, the United States shares borders with Mexico and Canada. So they are the closest. Naturally, they will be affected the most. And to me, this looks like a dangerous situation regarding this.
All right, let's move on. We'd like to discuss something else now. Now, in the US, our various secret service agencies are very strong. For example, when we talk about the CIA, the FBI, and all of them, they are all very powerful. So now, I remember once you told me that in astrology, things related to espionage can be identified. So, if we talk about America's secret agencies and the secret agendas they run, what can you tell us about them?
Yes, as far as espionage is concerned, the basic star associated with it is Neptune. And in America's horoscope, Neptune is in a very bad position. So everyone probably already knows about America's past, where, when, and what they have done. Let's talk about the present and the future. The interesting thing about the future is that America will reduce its budget in this area. Its scope will now be limited only to those countries that are absolutely essential. Previously, America had set up operations in many places, and a huge amount of its resources was being spent there. Yeah. Significant portion of the budget used to go to these things. Now there will be a reduction in that.
So, you're saying that they will cut their budget in the secret service agencies?
Yes, they will reduce it quite a bit.
All right. And this,
They'll spend more on those specific countries, but in other places where they used to spend before, there will be a reduction.
All right, what you're saying this is actually the current policy of America, the one that Doge started with Elon Musk. The whole purpose of the Doge organization was to cut their extra spending. Okay, we're completely aware of what you're saying, but if we talk about the future, as long as you're saying Donald Trump is in power, will they keep this spending low or will they eventually increase their Secret Service budget again?
Actually, I'm talking in terms of the stars, as seen in America's horoscope. In that, regardless of who the president is, there is a main policy. Presidents keep changing, right? But once a country sets a policy, any incoming president will follow it. So this current position of Neptune indicates a reduction, that things will decrease.
All right. One more thing, if I connect the previous topic with what we're discussing now, we often hear that when it comes to space technology, for example, in the case of America, it's said that the US has already interacted with extraterrestrial life or alien life in the past. They've already met them, and their intelligence agencies, their secret service agencies hide these things. So, can you see anything about this from their astrology?
And the star associated with this, like jinn, giants, fairies, or aliens in astrology, their star is also considered Neptune. So, in this regard, for now, there is nothing indicating that they have had contact with aliens. At the moment, nothing like that is being shown.
Okay, that's fine, sir. With astrology, we just have to ask straightforward questions and give straightforward answers. So, whatever we see, that's what we share. We won't make up stories beyond that. Apart from that, you mentioned quite a few things like their economy will improve and we're cutting spending in their secret service. But if we look at the overall picture, according to you, is their country progressing in the right direction? Will it continue to remain a superpower in the future as well? No, that's not the case. The point is, wherever Saturn was a strong star for America, whenever Saturn comes in transit opposite to it, problems will arise. It's not possible for any country to always remain prosperous.
Times keep changing, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But if we talk about the current and near future, we see America continuing to grow.
Well, that's very good news for the people of America. Now we can talk about how we've discussed America's relations with other countries, but we also want to talk about the fact that America has quite a few enemy countries as well. Now, there's not much to say about those enemy countries' relations with America, but we all know that America's biggest rivalry has always been with Russia. But as of today, the current president of the United States is trying to improve relations with Mr. Putin. They are trying to stop the war between Ukraine and Russia. So we cannot say how much Russia's hostility towards them is or is not. But as for the other countries that are also considered enemies, like Russia, how will America's relations with them develop and how will the story move forward?
Yes, as I have mentioned before, until 2027, nothing significant is expected. But after that, when the star positions change, there will be a major shift. Pluto has already changed, and in the period I am talking about, I think Jupiter will have entered Virgo, and after that, Saturn will have moved into Taurus. The star positions will change, and Rahu and Ketu will also shift, which are called the South Node and North Node in English. So, will America definitely face problems in the future? Now, If we look at the near future, meaning the next 2 to 2.5 years, America appears to be doing well. Regarding America, the American people, and especially those who are living in here in America, who are there on asylum, or those who don't have visas and are living in hiding there, is also going to be a change in government policy concerning them. So these people will also receive good news. In the past, it used to be that people were caught, detained, and sent back. Now, the government is going to soften its policy on this matter.
All right. So up until now, the US policy has been such that as of today, everyone there lives in a constant fear of when the government might come and detain them. People are afraid that the government will put them in detention, especially those who have applied for asylum. So you're saying that things are going to get a bit easier for them now?
Yes, yes, things will get easier for them and they will benefit from it.
So can you tell us what the time frame for this is?
This is the time frame. It's starting right now from June, and there's a considerable amount of time until around 2027. So they shouldn't be too afraid something will work out for them, and eventually some legal solution will emerge.
So do you think this will come from the government or from the law? Because right now the US courts are making a lot of efforts to stop Donald Trump and his strict immigration policies. So do you think this policy will come from Donald Trump's government, the Republican government, or will it come from the law?
It will come from the law, from the legal agencies of US.
Now we will move on a little. In the US, there are a lot of natural calamities, or rather, there have been quite a few storms lately. For example, we recently saw that in a place called St. Louis, there was a very severe storm, a tornado hit. And so far, the number of deaths that have been counted is around 21 to 25 people. According to astrology, what do you see regarding other natural calamities in the US?
Yes, yes. Regarding the question you asked, in astrology, the star is referred to as Uranus. Uranus is currently in Taurus, according to Western astrology, and then it will enter Gemini. This transition has already happened at the end of this year. Now it will move in retrograde, then go direct again, and at the start of next year, it will fully enter Gemini, where it will stay for 7 years. During these 7 years, America will unexpectedly face situations like cyclones, earthquakes, frequent lightning strikes causing deaths, and various other problems. Especially, there is a significant risk of sea storms. Previously, Florida was mainly affected, but now other states are also at great risk.
All right. So if we talk in terms of culture, how do you see American culture changing? Because as of today, the biggest fear among Americans is that the immigrants coming from outside will change their culture.
I'm telling you this without astrology first, then I'll explain with astrology. America is a state that was formed by coming together of different nations, right? In the beginning, there were red Indians, white people, black people, and who knows who else. First of all, from the very beginning, when America became independent, its culture was already mixed. Now, as more people have come, like Indians, Pakistanis, Italians, Arabs, and who knows who else, and nowadays even Afghans, when all these people come together, they will blend into the American culture, but the culture itself won't change. The American culture will remain as it is. Whoever comes from outside will end up adopting their ways.
Is this according to astrology?
Yes, in astrology, the star that represents culture is Venus. America's Venus was very strong. Its position in America's chart was very good. That means whoever comes to America will adopt this culture, not try to impose their own culture. There, it's simply not possible.
All right, Asif, these were all the questions we had related to America for today. So we'll end our show here. And in our next episode, we'll talk about the President of America, Donald Trump,